I just heard that Silhouette Studio V5 is out in beta format right now, which means that you can download it, but it is not the full version of the software yet. They are still making changes, they are tweaking it, finding bugs, that kind of thing. So if you're feeling adventurous, you can go ahead and download it and see what it's all about. If it doesn't work out, you can revert to an older version. If you are not feeling adventurous, if you want to stay right where you're at for the time being, that is fine too. But I think you're going to want to stick around throughout the video to see all of the changes that are coming. Hi, I'm Brenda Lambert. I'm a TJC licensed instructor for Silhouette. You found your way to Silhouette Success, and I do hope that you're going to join our little community. Just click the subscribe button down below. We offer all kinds of tips and tricks and tutorials and videos like this where we're not really creating any projects, but we are definitely learning something new. Now, back to the software. In order to download this software, you're going to want to go over to the Silhouette America website, and you're going to want to click on software. That's the page that I'm on now. You can see that you can get software here. You can check out your license keys, and at the top there is Silhouette Studio. Down below there's Silhouette Connect, Silhouette Web, all different softwares that you can download and use. If you have any questions on the actual software, you're going to want to click Learn More, and that will take you to another page that explains more about the software. Down below that, you have a spot where you can download for Windows or Macs, and you can buy upgrades as well. Now, currently, they are running v4.5.815 in full in public. If you want to check out V5, you're going to have to come over here to the beta versions and click on that. Now, again, beta means that they are still testing this. I want you to be fully aware of that before you go ahead and download it. It is not a permanent thing. If it's causing you issues, you can always revert to the older version of the software. You can see that they are on version 5.0.053. There are release notes here, and here are some changes. The new features are a brand new home screen, updated project tutorials, news and updates section, a section showing your most recent library files, and the list goes on. This one at the bottom is interesting. It's had a UI overhaul to make Studio more modern, more intuitive, and easier to use. Let's go ahead and click the back button so we are back to the download page, and I'm going to click on Windows 64 because I am running a Windows computer. I am not a robot, so let's click on that and then download. You can see that it did go up into here and it is working on the download now. Underneath that, you'll see that I have one item in my shopping cart. It is the Silhouette Cameo Mark II, the 24-inch machine that is brand new. I have not committed yet. It is in my cart. I just need to hit the buy now button. Let me know if you are interested in tutorials on the Cameo Mark II, and that will give me a little more incentive to actually buy it. Now, the program has finished downloading, so let's click on our little arrow here. We can click on the download, and this box is going to pop up. It is the Silhouette Studio Setup Wizard. If you have installed Silhouette Studio on your computer or updated before, this will all look very familiar. We're going to go ahead and click on Next. This screen tells you exactly where it's going to download to, and you can browse and choose a different folder, but I always just click on Next. It is ready to begin the installation, so let's click on Install. Now this box is going to pop up, and you have to click Yes in order for the installation to begin. You're just allowing Silhouette Studio to make changes to your computer, which is necessary for it to install the software. So let's click on Yes, and it gets right back to installing the program on my computer. Then we will need to click on Finish, and it is going to launch automatically. We do have a box here that gives us a little more information. It says that it is a beta version of Silhouette Studio, which means that this version of the software is not yet complete and is not supported. Pre-release beta versions are made available to gather user feedback with the ongoing objective of making Silhouette Studio faster, easier, and more reliable. And underneath that, it says to help achieve this, Silhouette Studio would like to send performance information to Silhouette America from time to time, comprising the following types of data. So they are going to collect data as you are using this, as to the responsiveness of Silhouette Studio. They're going to gather crash reports and usage information to apply correct weighting to crash reports. So that's going to take your actual system into consideration as to how many times it crashes, and it's really just information to make sure that everything is right in the software. Now, data will be sent back and forth from your computer to Silhouette. This is anonymous, so they don't know who is using the software. They can just see how the software is reacting to being used. Now, if you do not like the idea of them monitoring the software use, you are going to click I don't agree, and you're going to go back to the public version. I do not mind sharing the data, so I'm going to click on I agree. And this is about the beta program. Again, this says that it's going to automatically update your beta software if something new becomes available. They want to keep this moving along. They want to be able to collect the information as quickly as possible. Now, when the public release version of Silhouette Studio is installed on your machine, updating the software will once again be optional. So if you are not okay with updates being installed automatically onto your computer, again, you're going to want to quit. They give you plenty of chances to opt out of this if this is not what you want to do. And it sounds scarier than it actually is, but full disclosure, there is data transfer, and they are seeing how the software is performing while you use it. They're not spying on you, they're just gathering very generic data. Here's another issue. Due to large download sizes, it's not recommended to run the beta version of Silhouette Studio when connected to a metered or capped internet connection. If you have limited internet, if you only have so many gigabytes per month or whatever, you do not want to do this, because it's just going to go ahead and update whenever it needs to, and you're not going to have the chance to say, okay, I'm almost out of internet right now, I can wait for this or whatever. So if that's an issue, again, you're going to want to quit. I have unlimited usage, so I'm going to continue. Here is the new loading screen, and here is the new home page. Now, if you have caught my videos on Silhouette Web, you will see that this is very, very similar to Silhouette Web. Up here it says Silhouette Studio 5, what will you create today? And you have a few different options that will help get you started on your designing. You have recent library files down here, and they've selected a few files from the design store that they think you might be interested in. There are also some news and update articles over on this side, and then we have this little blue button here. It says starter mode on. This is supposed to create an easier learning environment for people that are new to the software. And we have design and library and send. All right, so let's click on new document here and go up to design. And this looks completely different and will probably take my brain some time to get used to, but it looks like all of the buttons are here. You still have your color fill, your line color, line styles, and thickness. your selector, your lasso, editing points, line tools, drawing tools. I do have my flexi shapes here because I am running business edition, so I have all of the buttons. We have some drawing tools, draw freehand or draw smooth freehand. Here is our text box to bring up our cursor, sticky notes, eraser, knife, and eyedropper. Now down here, you can automatically bring up your library. That is new and kind of cool if your library is in fact working at this time. Now over here we have page setup, and most of the options look the same here. It does look like the print and cut tab here for our registration marks is gone. You can see that it is moved down here, so that is separate now. Here we can enable registration marks and make the changes, which I don't recommend. I always recommend the default settings, but everything for print and cut now is in its own separate tab. Here is your fill style panel with your color palette and color grid. Here you can move this around, still the same. Transparency is there. We have gradient fill, we have the pattern fill. These are all from your library. This is all pretty much the same. Here is your line style. The trace now looks more like an actual butterfly instead of a piece of toast, so I guess that debate is done and over with. It is an actual butterfly. We have trace, we have trace by color, the magnetic trace, and I believe not all of these options are available in the basic edition. But again, I'm running the business edition, so I have those options. We have trace, trace outer edge, and trace detach, just the same as we did in V4. We have threshold and despeckle threshold. It seems like there were more options in this area before. Let's go ahead and click on advanced, and there they are. That you have your high pass, your low pass, your scale, and your trace quality. Then you have solid fill or outline. So the basics are here. And if you want the other options, you need to click on that little advanced button to bring them in. Again, this is meant to make it a little bit more user-friendly to the people that are just starting out. I am so used to V4 that this is probably not going to be easier for me to use right away, but I think people coming in will find it easier. Now we're in the transform panel, and it looks like all of our options are still here. We have our scale, our rotate, move by, and shear. Again, shear is an upgraded feature. Our replicate panel, we have regular replicate. We can choose our number of copies, and here we have the object on path, one of my favorite features actually. Now we have our fonts. It was called textile panel in. Okay, so when you hover, it does still say textile panel, but underneath here it says fonts. So here is all of the fonts that are installed on my computer. There's the glyph panel and the spell checker. The print and cut panel we had open previously, and here is the modify panel, and all of that looks the same as well. Offset is down here, sketch and stipple, and underneath that we have a little plus icon, and it says show more. When we click on that, it does expand, and there are a lot more buttons after that. So it does look like everything is here and ready to go. Again, it's mostly just aesthetics, I do believe. But again, because my brain is so used to seeing V4, this is going to take some time to get used to. Now, I am super excited that the updated version of the software is out. Again, it is in beta form, so there could be bugs, there could be glitches, there could be all kinds of things. It's a little bit uncertain at this point. If you're feeling adventurous, go ahead and download it. If you're feeling not so much adventurous, then you're going to want to stick with the older version. Again, all of that stuff about giving them permission to send data back and forth, it sounds scary, but very it's very common in software development to put the beta form out and collect data in this way. They are not going to breach any of your information. It's just a matter of them seeing how the software is running in real time. You're also going to want to keep in mind that if you try this out and it is not for you, you can always click on that legacy version button in the Silhouette website and download the V4 that you are most comfortable with. This doesn't have to be a permanent switch. You can try it out and then go back to the older software. Or if you decide you absolutely love it and can't wait to be a part of learning this new layout and new aesthetic, then you can stick with it and move along with me through V5. I will be using this and reporting back to you if I run into any difficulties, if I'm running into any bugs or glitches, so that you can be informed. And again, the easiest solution if you do come across a problem is to revert back to a version of Silhouette Studio that has been fully published to the public. If you are going to download V5, could you please leave me a comment down below, because I'd love to know who's going to download this right away and who's going to wait a while. If the majority of users are going to wait on V5, I will stick to using V4 in my tutorials until this becomes public. Once V5 becomes public, then I will switch over to V5 for the rest of my tutorials. But I do want to stay on the same page as the majority of the users that watch the channel, just because it's easier to comprehend. We're all on the same page. If you have any questions, comments, let me know, and I will try to answer all of them to the best of my ability. Again, this is brand new. This is the first time seeing it here along with you, and I hope to hear from you, and I will see you in the next video creating something in Silhouette V5.